Well, hello guys, it's a Psychic Chef here, and I'm going to cook beef in black bean sauce served over noodles, and just a simple dish like that. A bit of onion, I couldn't get hold of any spring onion, and I'm going to use around a pound in weight of this meat, and there may be leftovers for a snack later. I often get asked, how do the Chinese cook their beef with regards to it's extremely tender, and I'm going to show you what they do with regards to how they marinate this meat prior to cooking it. So what we're going to do, this is a cheap cut of beef. Obviously if you're using a more expensive piece of beef you won't have to tenderize it. If you're using a cheaper cut, which it doesn't hurt to do that, because once it's tenderized it's going to taste just as nice anyway, and it's cheaper on the pocket. What we're going to do is cut it into probably 5mm slices thickness, and I'll show you what I mean by that now. So we're probably going to do that, about that thickness, if you can see that. Now I know there's a little bit of fat on the bottom here, but it's easier to slice it first and then remove the fat rather than trying to remove the fat first, because you've got less area to cut when it comes to removing the fat, if that makes sense. So little slices like that, where the fat is there, all we have to do now is just remove that bit rather than dangerously slicing along and slicing our fingers. So these are big pieces, but they're going to be cut down. And then I'm going to show you how the Chinese restaurants make something which is cooked so quickly like this to be extremely tender. So there we go guys, these have been cut down, and I'm going to cut them again because that's way too big for the meal. So we want maybe 1.5 inch size slices, bite-sized slices. The fat I removed is only that amount, but if we'd have tried to remove that fat content from the roll of beef, then we'd have probably took more away than we actually needed. And once you cut it down, all you have to do is just slice the edge where the fat is, and that's all I've removed from there. And as you can see, all these are very lean. These bits will just render away in the wok. They will. Get rid of them. So all we're doing now is cutting these into little squares, probably about 1 inch, 1.5 inch in size, and that's gonna make excellent bite-sized pieces. Some can be bigger than others. And these, because the weight are thin, they're going to cook very quickly here. But then I'm going to show you the hack with how to make it extremely tender. So we're going to transfer this meat to the bowl. There it is, all chopped down. Like I say, you don't have to use the best cut, because once we've tenderized this is going to taste extremely nice. Just like a very expensive cut of beef. Get rid of that. There's our meat. So what we're going to use now is bicarbonated soda, or some may know it as also baking soda. So bicarbonated soda or baking soda, people are going to ask what's the difference. Well, baking soda is a less strength of the bicarbonated soda, where this has more in it which is going to break down, but both will do exactly the same thing for mine and your taste buds. So there's just a little over a pound in weight with beef there. Now I would normally put around 1/4 teaspoon in per half pound, round about that much. Sprinkle it over, and the same again because we've got almost a pound in weight. And what I'm also going to do is put some water in there, just bear with me. So I'm going to put around 8 spoonfuls of water in. I can't find my measuring jug. There's 4, there's 5, 6, 7 and 8. And this is where we get our hands mucky. So once this is all mixed together, the bicarbonated soda and the water is all going to be absorbed into the meats. We've cut the beef along the grain, and the chemical reaction with the soda and the meat is any stringy fibrous piece of tissue, it's going to break it down. It's going to penetrate the meat. This is very cold. It's going to penetrate the meat, and like I said, any fibrous piece of tissue, any tough part, excluding the fat of course, it's going to break that down to become an extremely nice spongy like texture in the mouth, which is what we are used to eating when it comes to our favourite Chinese meal. So straight away all the water's now on the meat along with the bicarbonate soda, and what I'm going to do with this now is put it in the fridge for around 30 to 45 minutes. We're not eating till later, and then I'm going to come back and show you what to do next. So it's been around 45 minutes now, and our beef is out the refrigerator. As you can see, it's lovely coated. It's going to be extremely tender because the bicarbonated soda or baking powder is now penetrated that. I've chopped some onion, which I'm going to fry with the beef when the beef's almost done. Got some white pepper, and we're just going to add some white pepper in here. We're making a black bean sauce, so it just needs that bit of pepper. I recommend we don't add salt because salt will automatically start drying out the beef, and that's something we don't want. Now I'm going to add some rice vinegar, a little bit too much, but never mind. I assumed it was like the soy sauce. And I'm going to add some light soy sauce, that should be enough, and some dark soy sauce. It's just been opened yet. And all that's going to do is just give it a little bit of colour. And then again, getting our hands nice and dirty, we're just going to massage that into the meats. So we've got white pepper, white pepper, dark soy sauce, light soy sauce, and I put some rice vinegar in as well. And that's just going to help with the flavours now. And we're going to get this fried off now. So extremely gloopy, but that's what it looks like. Can you see that? So we're now getting the pan up to temperature. It's on full at this moment in time. I'm cooking on induction, I'm not cooking on gas. It would be a lot easier if I had a gas range here with a wok style burner. It would make it so much easier, but that's something which is coming soon, hopefully. So I'm gonna cook my beef off, which has been marinated. I've got some pan or wok style noodles ready to go. I've got my black bean sauce, I've got my onion chopped. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. I know I've got ginger in already in with the rest. This is starting to get hot. And this is where we're going to sizzle a lot now. Yep. So because it's fairly thin, 5 centimeters in thickness, then this should cook quite quickly. Remember, it's been soaked in the soda, so it should be extremely tender now, and we don't have to cook it like we would a big steak, trying to get it to that nice tender bite. Like I say, it's going to cook fairly quickly because it's very thinly chopped. Leave that do that. We're going to get our noodles and get them into the next pan ready. We're going to add some dark soy sauce in there. And we're also going to add some sugar as well, just to sweeten that up. So we're still on a high heat. This is slowly browning off. And we're going to come back to it when it's evenly cooked on both sides. We're not looking to form a glaze or crust on it like we would a steak. All we want to do is cook it thoroughly. Not that a bit of raw red meat won't hurt you like, but we're not trying to cook a steak style piece of meat. So I have drained some of the juices of this, because obviously our meat content is always full of water. Like I've always said, it's something our industry does, pumps a lot of our food full of water. Whilst I'm cooking this, I just want to say a big hello to Brian, a friend of mine who's just been to see me with his good wife, and he's going to be tuning in to watch this video, he said, and probably try and make it himself. He also showed me his amazing collection of his Alienware stuff, and I don't mean the PC, but from the memorabilia from the movie Alien. So if you're watching this now, Brian, I hope I'm making your mouth water. And I'm just going to brown it off a little bit more and then allow it to rest. Right, we're going to turn our attention to the noodles now. So this is shop-bought noodles. You can get straight to wok noodles. They come in like a sachet in the supermarket, and I think you get 2 sachets in there, which are pretty much ready to go. All you have to do is heat them up. That's all you have to do. So I put a tad of soy sauce in here. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Tad meaning a small amount, and all I want to do is darken it. I would normally chuck spring onion in here last minute, the green and the white part of the spring onion, and with this I need to keep it on a medium to high heat to warm it up, and then allow the noodles to melt the sugar which I put in, if you remember, and then brown off so they look very much like they've just come out of a takeaway shop. The beef's still on the go there. I've chucked the onion in there, and I'm also going to add my black bean sauce just now. So how dark you like your noodles will depend on how much soy sauce you add to this. The more soy sauce, the darker they get. The less, of course, they'll stay extremely light. They will slightly darken through the cooking process, but if you put probably a quarter of that in, it would be quite dark. As you see, the black bean sauce is now being added to this. That turned up. This beef is now ready and extremely tender. The onions have still got that crunch to it. They've been added at last minute. How hot you like your black bean is up to you. Whether you put chilli in at the start so it's not as hot towards the end, or you add chilli in last, fresh chopped chilli, then it'll determine how hot you like your black bean. I know my wife doesn't like it too spicy, so I've chosen not to add any this time, but you could use anything from the lazy chilli jar. Half a spoonful in there would be ample, just to give it that bit of kick. Right, noodles are done. I'm going to go back to the bean. So there's my noodles served, and what I'm going to do now is put my beef with the black bean sauce on top and allow all the juices to slowly soak through. So for every mouthful of noodle, I've got that lovely black bean sauce all the way through. So my name's been Neil. I'm the psychic chef, or psycho chef as some people would say. Beef in black bean sauce, guys. Let me know if you're going to make it. Until next time, bye bye.